Hi, I wanted to go over the concept of discounted cash flows with you. And here are the steps to perform a discounted cash flow valuation. First, we forecast the free cash flow to a certain time horizon. Then you discount the free cash flow to present value. And then we calculate a continuing value at the horizon with an estimated growth rate. And then discount the continuing value to present. And then we subtract the net debt. This is basically a way to come up with a value of a company based on forecasting how much money is it going to basically bring in versus how much money is it basically going to pay out. And as you see here, we have an example with General Electric from 2000 to 2004. And we're kind of looking at like, hey, is this going to work? Because it looks like, hey, they have received large cash flows and they also paid out large cash flows for investments, so their free cash flow was negative. And although their earnings, you could see, were actually growing, and earnings per share was growing. So obviously with negative cash flows, you're not going to have a positive valuation. So in this case, it doesn't really work. And looking at Starbucks, we have a similar situation here. A lot of cash from operations from 96 to 2000 and negative free cash flow altogether. So, and then earnings are growing, earnings per share are growing. So this we're looking at in companies during their investment phase. Clearly, it doesn't really work to have a DCF because of the investment part. So ultimately, the DCF model is kind of like almost like you're terminating the company. You're like, what am I gonna get if there's just, you strip out just the cash and you don't really look at the concept of earnings. You're just looking, it's like, how much are they spending? So I think in a way it discounts the fact that, hey, the investments they're making are actually going on the balance sheet. They're going on the balance sheet and they're representing assets on the balance sheet. So this is something to think about, where it works and where it doesn't work. And I'm curious, if we apply it to Facebook going forward, will it work or will it not work? Because I think the idea with Facebook also is that the cash flows are not really as large to represent the kind of valuation that they're warranting, and partly because a lot of the valuation is coming from this intangible value for now, not from cash flows. So again, I don't think it will work for Facebook. So this is a model that kind of gives you a really basic idea of valuation, and we'll continue looking at other models and other valuations, and we'll continue. I really enjoyed your all's discussion regarding Facebook and how the value that they're creating, it does depend on the projects that they're involved with in terms of making a contribution to the world and making developments in the world. So please continue the discussion when we have another one later on this week.